Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Casey, and today we're going to be doing a general reading. If the title drew you in here, then welcome. I hate that that's the case, but you know, if it resonates, it resonates. You just gotta follow those hunches. I already tried to make a video about this really heavy, like, collective energy. Didn't go well at all. My brain is not working. Like, this energy has like just seeped into my like soul and my mind and my energy in a way that I feel like I can't shake, which is why I tried to do a reading and I felt like the words just came out jumbled and they didn't make any sense. So here's my take two. What I talked about in the other video was that there is this really heavy collective energy that I feel like could be related to inner child, also your relationships, that they are changing or that they are ending, and it's a very transformative period for you guys because of that. I just saw 111 when I looked up, so thanks for the confirmation. And I feel like I just have all these like little pieces and I don't really know how they go together cohesively. I'm just telling you guys like what I'm getting. I was also picking up really heavily on Virgo placements for some reason. But I do feel like this is collective. I just feel like Virgo for some reason is kind of spotlight, I guess, in the spotlight. And then they were also showing me a pond and like these very gentle ripples throughout this pond. Otherwise it was pretty still. And a person looking in the water and like their reflection didn't seem like them. It almost reminds me of like Mulan, where she says, the song is like, "Who is that girl I see?" That's what I feel like it is. It's like, who is this person looking back at me? Because like I don't recognize them and it doesn't feel like me, and I just really feel like this core part of you guys right now is changing. Feels like a core part of you guys is definitely changing. It's transforming, and I think that those changes, some of them somehow relate to relationships, whether it's old stuff coming up that's being triggered or whether it's new stuff that needs to be dealt with. I don't know, but I do feel like I said, this has a lot to do with your identity. It does feel very like depressive, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it, and I feel like you guys are just kind of autopiloting like through life. And I also picked up on community, not in a sense of a good community for you to lean on, but that your current surroundings, like more so the people that you're surrounding yourself with right now, not every person, but a lot of them, I do feel like for some of you it is all of them, are hugely impacting your energy, and that's also what's making this really difficult, because I feel like you don't like where you are. You don't like where you are, and you don't like what's going on in your life, and you know you're unhappy with all these current like circumstances. I just feel like there's so much that I'm like absorbing from this energy. I like don't know how to put it into words in the right way. So I'm gonna try this reading again because the first attempt was not good. And I'm just gonna start with Twin Flame Journey Oracle. We'll start here. Let's start off maybe by asking some specific questions. So like, we'll start off by asking for a couple cards as to how you're currently feeling. Let's do that first. How are you currently feeling? This is for the collective. So what's the current energy of the collective? Oh God, Material World in reverse. You also have Return in reverse, this to me, before we even get into the other cards that fell out, feel like you're unhappy with your job. I feel like you guys are unhappy with your job, or like the trajectory of like your career, or like progression within your career or current jobs. I feel like this is like, I don't want to do this. Because material world in reverse could also be like money issues or issues with finances. And I feel like you're trying to like escape this type of reality that you're in. And that could be why I was picking up that you guys were just kind of moseying through life, like kind of on autopilot. Because it's like, I'm unhappy. Like, I'm unhappy doing what I'm doing. I'm not getting what I want. We have contemplation in reverse. To be completely honest with this, I don't feel like the opposite of contemplation. It makes me feel like instead of like taking actionable steps forward, instead you guys are just like dissociating. Like, you're just like, no, like, no. I like, you maybe get home because you're unhappy. You get home from whatever this energy is, job, career, whatever. You get home, or you end the work day if you work from home, and you're like, I just like don't even know what to do other than just like stare off at a wall. I feel like you guys don't recognize who you are. Like, you're not living your life to the fullest right now. You're not living your life authentically 110% you, who you are. You are just like, you're alive, but you're not living. You're alive, but you're not living. I don't know how to explain this other than that. Like, you're awake and you're walking around, you're doing the things, but you're not really living your life. Like, your life isn't like full of color. It just seems like this dark, like black and gray type energy of you just, I'm here, you know, I clock in and I clock out, and I go home and I eat, I shower, I go to bed. Like, there's no life in between that. There's no spice between those pages. There's no descriptive whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like super plain and just like, I'm doing what I have to do to get by, and there's nothing else. That's it. So you have vibrations. I feel like with just that card alone, I do want to get some more info on vibrations really quick. But to begin with, I feel like you're trying to focus on lifting your vibrations or changing your circumstances. Can you tell me more about vibrations for the collective? Oh, okay. Okay. You have deception at the bottom, which is like, yeah. And, okay, deception at the bottom with communication in reverse. So the way that you feel like you are being like gypped, kind of like the world is against you, or like it's you against the world. Like, I feel like there's some sort of deception going on with, again, not recognizing who you are, or maybe you feel like you are literally being lied to or something like that. But I feel like things are out of alignment with you, and with this on the bottom, you're not talking about it. Okay, so you have, a lot of you, this is relationships, and you like mourning relationships, and I think that you guys are sick of being in these same positions over and over and over again. I wasn't sure what type of reading this was going to turn into, but a part of this does feel kind of love related. Hold on a second. Yeah, can you not scratch that, please, sir? Thank you. Yeah, I feel like you guys, that relationship vibe I was getting earlier, it just feels like this karmic vibe of like your relationships are, they're reminiscent of each other. Like, they're the same. Like, it's a lot of karmic relationships, because we have the twin flame card. The way that I feel about twin flames is long and complicated. I don't think they're fun, and I don't think they're this joyous thing. I usually refer to this as just like divine union or divine like counterpart. But I feel like this is the place that you're at, right? You want this. You're like, I want a higher vibration, and I don't want to be just like going through my day to day. Like, I want to enjoy my days. I want to enjoy my life. I want to enjoy it with another person. I think a lot of you guys are definitely feeling this energy of, again, like tough relationships, or really mourning relationships, or mourning, oh my god, sorry, my brain, mourning certain types of relationships. I think that there is this feeling of like, it's been the same people over and over, and I've been so good to people, and I've been so good to my partners, and I've been a good partner. Like, I feel like you guys are looking for the reward, you know? And I think that you're wanting some type of like more divine union. Like, when do I find my person? Because it's starting to really get to you and really bother you. And I feel like looking back at those older relationships, finding these similarities of things that like went wrong, or how people treated you poorly or whatever, has really started to affect you. And again, that identity, like looking at this person and being like, who is that person? Because I don't recognize them, and I'm not who I used to be. And that might be just along the lines of, I used to have more fun, I used to do X, Y, and Z with friends, or I used to, I don't know, like romanticize the little things, cook for myself more, and now I just don't feel like you guys are doing any of those things that you used to do. Now I feel like it's so many bad relationships, or so many bad romantic experiences, has really started to weigh on your self-esteem and weigh on you just like as a whole, and you're like, I'm tired of this. Like, and all I feel like is that you guys want to be, you want to just be in a good spot. A lot of it does feel like relationships, but there's just like an overall general energy of just like, when is it my turn? That's just what it feels like. When is it my turn? And I think you guys are healing that right now, not just in a relationship way, but in a lot of ways. If you are triggered right now and you feel these emotions coming up, try to honor them. They're coming up for a reason. Then the other card was patience in reverse, which to me is like, I don't want to like wait around anymore. I feel like you guys are like, I've waited long enough, and I've done this, I've done the work, and I've done everything that you feel like you need to do. So like, where's the rest of it? When is it my turn? Where is this person for me? Where are these rewards in life? I feel like a lot of you guys, if you resonate with this, is like, you do feel broken, and you feel like you're missing something, and you feel like there's a part of you that's not like everybody else. You're like, so-and-so does X, Y, and Z, and that works for them, and I do it and nothing. Or like, you know what I mean? I feel like you guys are just like really down on yourselves right now, and I have chills, absolute chills. So let's look at what the current block is for the collective right now. What's the current block with this energy? What is the current block for this energy? First of all, inner child at the bottom in reverse. You need to sit down and talk with your inner child. If this stuff resonates, if this reading resonates, if the energy makes sense, if you're like, yes, that's how I'm feeling, you need to have a sit down with your inner child, because I think for this to come up as like, you know, where we need to head, like what's your block, what's your obstacle, what's in the way, it's that inner child. I feel like your inner child is truly like, I don't want to do what we're doing. Like, I don't want to become a different person. I don't want to be unhappy. My cat is crazy. I feel like there's a resistance, and it's because of your inner child. And I think speaking with them, and spending time with them, and coming from a place of love and understanding will help quell that pain that's deep inside of you, and help you kind of peel back that layer for additional healing. The cards that came out, also self-worth. This is huge. Self-worth also came out originally the first time around in the first reading that I tried to do. All these feelings of, I don't like who I've become, and I don't recognize myself, and I don't know how I got here. Super heavy, makes me want to cry. There's such a reflective energy, and having self-worth come out, like I said, it is affecting your self-esteem. That inner child, I think, really needs attention and needs acknowledgement and love. Like, your inner child doesn't want things to change. And then, of course, the card that comes out also is the destruction card, which is pretty much like the Tower card, and it came out sideways. So I think there are huge changes coming your way, and there are huge changes that you are already fully aware of, that you're seeing in front of you happen. And I think there is a different perspective of, this is what your inner child is saying right now. I really feel like this is messages from your inner child. Of like, do you love me? Do you care about me? Like, I feel like that portion of you guys is like, I don't feel understood. I don't feel acknowledged. I don't feel like I'm being heard. So when these tough feelings come up, like especially when it has to do with relationships and how we view ourselves compared to other people, how we view ourselves in relation to people, like caring about how other people view us, or caring when someone doesn't text us back, getting upset when someone says they don't like something we're wearing, or they don't like the way that we approach some sort of situation. Like the way that others view things and the way that they affect us is totally an inner child thing. Like that's where it starts and that's what it stems from. I mean, at least in my opinion, in my humble opinion. So this to me is like, this is the big thing that's changing right now. The stuff that is swirling around you that feels like a big tornado of shenanigans, your inner child is like, this is what it feels like to me. Like these things that are happening feel like a tornado. Like it doesn't feel the way that you're seeing it as an adult. And I think that's where that disconnect comes. Like in a sense of maybe dissociating when you get home from work or whatever, where you're just like not connected, is because it's like inner child version of you feeling this very destructive type of way versus adult version of you. And if there are things happening in your life right now, to you it might be an inconvenience. To your inner child, their entire world is changing. I feel like these emotions are too big to not give that space, to not give your inner child room and space to express themselves here, because I think they're being affected the most. Because I think maybe if it comes down to relationships, you guys could be like, that really sucks, and you're like, whatever, and you kind of put up a front because that's what you're used to doing. But deep inside, your inner child is like, this hurts. This hurts. This makes me feel like garbage. I don't feel like I'm good enough, and I don't feel like I'm seen. I don't feel like I'm accepted or heard or whatever. Like, this hurts me because I'm not being accepted by people in my life. Hence the community vibe. So if there's any part of you that doesn't feel like you're in the right job, that you're in the right career, that you're with the right friends or whatever, like, I think you really have to sit down and maybe reassess. Any other messages from your inner child for the collective? The answer is no. The answer is no. Whatever changes are happening right now in your life, there is such a fucking resistance to it. The inner child version of you is like, I don't want this. I don't want this. This is chaotic, and they don't see the perspective of things are changing, and it could bring in new opportunities, or it could bring in more money or whatever. This inner child thing is like, everything is a mess. It's being torn apart. It's negative. This is being torn apart, and I don't feel like I belong, and I don't know who I am. It's just it's reckless. It's absolutely reckless, and it truly is destruction. It is destroying the self-worth here. The answer is no. Anything else from the inner child for the collective? Dark night of the soul. This is huge, guys. This is huge. You guys are really like breaking apart to be built again, to be born again. These are huge transformations, like big death card energy. Look at this. Conclusion at the bottom also. Anything else from the inner child for the collective? Yeah, this feels like lock and key. I don't want to do it. 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 That resistance is huge. And so now I want to focus on, what do we do? What do we do about it? And that could be the deception card that we talked about, is that maybe it's your inner child that feels deceived. Your inner child could truly be like, why are you doing this to me? All right, so what do we do now for the collective? What does the collective do moving forward to help this energy? What now? feel like your inner child is like leading this reading right now, but yeah. So barrier followed by action in reverse. So basically what I feel like this is saying is that you're not going to be able to make progress unless you first stop trying to fix it, understand it, change it, stop trying to delay it. I think that you need to sit down with this version of yourself and hold space for them and be there with them and sit and talk with them and just let them express themselves, because I don't think you're going to get anywhere until you stop taking action, because I feel like that's the adult thing and that's what's creating the barrier. The more that you push against it and you don't want to see the changes and you know, like, how do I word this? It's like, it just feels like a butting of heads. Like the more you're like, we gotta do this, we gotta go, your inner child's like, no, I don't want to. Or it's like, you know, you're not gonna get, even just like talking about regular children, you're not gonna get your children to do things in the same way that you're gonna convince an adult to do something, right? The way that you're going to convince a child is to show them that you understand, to hold space for them, to allow space for their big emotions, and to say, like, it's okay that you feel that way. Let them express that. But I feel like this adult version of you is like, I have to do this. I have to work this amount of hours, and I have to do this type of thing, and I have to X, Y, Z to survive, and I have to blah, blah, blah to be an adult. And your inner child is like, I'm screaming at you to pay attention to me. Like, the more that you go, hey, we gotta do this, we gotta go, it feels dismissive to them. It feels dismissive to them because they're trying to say, like, look, these things have been hurting me for a long time. And if you push me to do this, it's not going to be good. Like, I'm going to be more upset. I'm going to push you away further. I'm going to make this more difficult. I'm going to throw a tantrum. Like, it's going to wreak havoc in your body. Your emotional body, mental body, physical body. It's going to wreak havoc if you don't give it attention now. More forward, future energy solutions. What do we do now? I heard just listen to me. Any other cards for the collective? Oh, guys. So for a lot of you, family, divine masculine in reverse. A lot of you, this is the father wound, and a lot of you watching are going to be feminine, not talking about the gender, feminine energies who have felt, or your inner child has felt, wronged by masculine energies. This definitely has to do with like a father wound. And that's why I think your relationships with people who embody more of a masculine energy, you're feeling like your inner child at least is feeling like unsafe, not acknowledged, not cared for, not listened to, like none of these things. Like I feel like that is coming up and they're trying to tell you about it so you can heal it, and you're not seeing it, you're not acknowledging it, it's making it worse. Like I said, I do feel like the source of this is a masculine energy that was unhealed, unhealthy, because I have family. Like I said, to me, that screams, the root is your father or father figures. Devotion in reverse, along with nostalgia. You guys, I feel like, don't have good memories. Like, you don't have good memories when you think back to your family, and I think that is kind of the starting place, along with just kind of like listening to your inner child and moving through that energy. I feel like nostalgia is like when we're looking back on these memories or these situations in our lives. Devotion in reverse is like, I didn't have good memories. Like I didn't have a set example for, you know, how I should be treated, how you should treat other people. You didn't have a good, healthy example for masculine energy. It was unhealed and it was unhealthy, or it just wasn't there at all. I feel like for a lot of you, like your fathers just weren't in the picture at all. Like that's what I feel like. Especially with devotion in reverse. I feel like this was like meh, like that idea of family and that really important like masculine connection that you need, not there, because I feel like a lot of you, your biological fathers weren't present and didn't value family the way that you now do. This is hard. Wow, this is really hard. Yikes. I do feel like that for some of you, this is also translated into you being dismissive with your own family as well, and not feeling as close to your family because you just never had that example to be like, whatever, like family's not everything, like, you know, that type of energy. Oh, okay. I'm gonna pause this. I do want to get some tarot cards. Or rather, I'm just gonna end with this deck and move on. It's a lot of inner child stuff that keeps coming up, and I do think it's related to masculine energies. And if it's not directly related to a father wound, it's just related to masculine energies that you've been in relationships with, or just like had in your life that have treated you poorly and just kind of like, I don't know, set the bar low. I don't know. It'll be different for all of you. Okay. Look at this. Eight of Swords in reverse at the bottom. Or, actually, that was right side up, wasn't it? Either way, the Eight of Swords is definitely a feeling of being trapped when you're not, so. What it feels like to me is more that you're just cycling through the same, like, kind of emotions, getting stuck in your head. Or that you're even dissociating and not a part of, like, you're not an active participant of your life, you know? Alright. For the collective. Let's get current energy. Current energy of the collective. Okay, so Chariot in reverse, along with Page of Wands. It's really interesting, actually, that the Page of Wands is here with this, because normally the Page of Wands is great. It's really about, like, moving forward with new ideas, with new creative pursuits, like, your brain's kind of, like, working and going, and, like, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, I want to do this, and I could do that, and this makes me happy, and I feel like, if anything, these two cards together just says, like, that energy has halted for you. Like, you may have been like, I like this hobby, I like to do this in my free time, and yada yada, but now I feel like that energy has just fully come to a stop. There's the Sun. I just, like, I keep hearing, like, this isn't who I am. This isn't normally who I am. This isn't normally how, like, I operate. The Sun with the Hierophant in reverse. It does have a definite, like, Aquarius vibe to it as well. I feel like you guys are, like, normally, like rule breakers, or, like, or like you like to go against like the status quo, or you like to do things that are just like unique or just like different. Like you are different. You are not a part like of the group. Your uniqueness is your power, is your strength. Because with the sun, especially with Hierophant in reverse, it just makes me feel like you're happiest when you're stepping out of traditional roles. So I think maybe you guys assimilating to like a 9 to 5 and being so like adult, you know, gotta do this and gotta do that and da-da-da. And this is like, again, your inner child being like, we're happiest when we're not doing normal things like that. We're happiest when we are not being like what society deems like an average adult. And you also have Knight of Wands, so you have Page and the Knight of Wands. I feel like you guys are struggling so much with like this creative side of you. It all screams inner child. Still screams inner child. What about the Knight of Wands? What can you tell me about that currently for the collective? I feel like this is a battle between you and your inner child. I can't say it enough. To clarify that Knight of Wands, which by the way is usually an energy of, again, forward movement, creative pursuits, that like Sagittarius energy, so it's like learning new things, and it is like strong philosophies, like again, a lot of what I feel like is, I want to call it like a cerebral type energy, because Sagittarius technically rules the 9th house, which is higher learning and higher education, and could even be like studying other languages. Like again, I feel like you guys are so smart and you guys have so much like creative energy in you that's just being stifled. So to clarify this, you have the Fool, which are these new opportunities, and it is all about taking risks. It's all about starting new. It's about saying like, you know, like on the other side of the door that closes for a chapter of your life, directly on the other side is another door to be opened to your new beginning. So like they are one and the same is kind of what I'm saying here. The Fool energy is like this newness and that kind of like zero inhibitions. I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna just XYZ. But then you have Page of Pentacles reverse, which is like every time your inner child is like, yes, do it, do this or do that, or let's do this or da-da-da. It's like it's shut down by an adult version of you where you're like, I can't, I don't know enough. I don't have enough resources. I don't have what I need. Like, I don't have enough pentacles. I don't have the info I need. I don't have the tools that I need. I don't have the background that I need. Like, I feel like that's what this is. 9 of Pentacles in reverse too. This is like, I won't be able to do it. This 9 of Pentacles reverse is providing for yourself, right? Or 9 of Pentacles in general is providing for yourself. It's being abundant by yourself, providing all that you need for yourself. It's like my bad bitch energy card. And I just saw 333. When this comes out in reverse, this is like, I might suffer a financial loss if I do something like this. Like, I can't just go out and do the kid thing and just be like, my creative pursuits will just like fucking, you know, they'll figure themselves out, right? I'll be an artist. I'll just casually write a book. Like I'll do this and I'll do that. Like this inner child version of you is like, I'm begging you, please do these things. It is so healing for the soul. 33. The 9 of Pentacles reverse, Page of Pentacles reverse. It's like you're shutting this down. Like this adult version of you is shutting it down every time your inner child speaks. And it's not fair to them. I think you guys are very much money focused, which material world in my Twin Flame Oracle, material world came out in reverse the first time around too when I tried to make the video. So again, I feel like it's do what I love. I feel like you guys think you have to choose one, right? Do what I love or make money and survive. I don't feel like you guys think that you can do both. I don't think that you guys believe that the universe will find a way to provide for you. I think that you truly, genuinely, 100% believe that you cannot provide for yourself doing your creative pursuits. All right, a little bit rude. I feel like you guys you don't have faith, and your inner child is like, why? Like, why? Why can't we do both? Like, and of course there's balance to this, but your inner child is like, who gives a fuck about money? Like, who cares? But you're like, well, we need it. Like, we need it to survive. Okay. No idea what that was, so I'm gonna have to obviously go get that. Oh, I feel like you guys are afraid of losing everything. The Seven of Pentacles at the bottom. I feel like you guys are afraid of losing everything if you go ahead and do that. I don't think that's the risk that you want to take. And I feel like every single time you come close, you back up. You come close, you back up, close, back up. Like, it's teeter-tottering. Because you have, my cat. You have Page of Pentacles going on here, followed by the Five of Cups. So this is what I'm saying. This is like, here's my cup. And then you're like, no, 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 I take those cups back. Because you're afraid that if you offer your cup, which Page of Cups, any cup is creativity. It's your emotions also, but it is creativity. It is that inner child energy. And every time I see Page of Cups or even Knight of Cups, I think about those very like genuine, authentic connections that really do help you tap into your emotions. And for a lot of you, it's more than just your emotions. It's like a clairsentience, or it's like some sort of like psychic thing. It's more than that for you. They are very almost tangible. You feel your emotions so strongly. So this is almost like, I'm going to offer this. I'm going to offer this cup. No thank you. I'm going to offer this cup. And then the adult part of you is like, I'm going to get hurt if I do that. And this is the grieving. Page of Cups can also be like a surprise, or like kind of like out of the blue. So a lot of times in love readings, when I get this card, it can be like someone comes out of the blue and is like, let me offer you my cup. Can I take you on a date? Or someone might come back around from the past, like stuff like that. It's unexpected messages of like love or affection. And so I feel like a part of you like kind of toys with that idea. Like, if I step forward and I offer my cup, you know, maybe I'll be like, hey, do you want to work on this thing together? Or it's like, maybe I will, you know, make a painting and see how I feel after. Or maybe I will like write a couple excerpts of that book that I really want to write. Like, I'll put myself out there a little bit and I'll explore. But as soon as you have that thought, I'm going to lose. I'm not going to be able to do it. It's going to hurt. I'm going to screw myself over. I'm going to lose in the end. I'm going to be hurt in the end. And this is what's caused you to just like a steel cage around your heart, and your inner child is like, what the fuck? Like, what am I supposed to do in here? Like, by myself? Like, you're not paying any attention to me. It's like, I'm not here. You won't listen to me. And you know, what happens when you, like I said, ignore a child? Tantrum. And then look at this, Six of Swords reverse. I feel like you guys think that if you you do these like creative pursuits, or you like step out of your comfort zone, or again, it's just like, let me try this, let me try that, right? Let me put myself out there, let me put my heart out there, like, let me put my work out there that I'm attached to. Like, I don't think that you guys think this is a risk you want to take. I don't think that you guys believe that you'll be taken care of. I don't think you believe that things are going to be okay. I think that you have a very black and white kind of dual way of thinking, and not like a gray on a spectrum of like, even if you put yourself out there and you take a risk and it's not 100%, but you get like 10% of what you want, or 10% of what you're, you know, aiming for, that's better than you getting 0%. It's still a win. And there's no spectrum there. It's like child you versus adult you. Just butting heads, butting heads, butting heads. Inner child version of you believes that you are capable of these things, and the adult version of you is like, how? Show me the proof. And inner child you is like, I don't need it. I just know. Like, I know. Like, I'm intuitive. I know. I know that it's going to be okay. Like, I know. And you're like, no. So let's look at some forward-moving energy. What do we do now? What's your advice for us, Spirit? What is your advice for us? Any advice for the collective? Two of Wands. I think Spirit is just telling you to take your time with this. It doesn't have to be like overnight, but I think that your inner child is really begging for your attention and time right now, and it's important to just give them that before anything. Four of Pentacles, reverse. Oh, you guys are just so tightly holding on to this. You need to let go. That's the big message here. You need to loosen up a little bit and let go. Growth is not going to happen in your comfort zone. You have to step outside of that a little bit. Five of Pentacles. You may have to go through a financial change or a financial hardship for you guys to be able to get what you want. It's not going to work perfectly every single time, but that doesn't mean that it failed. It doesn't mean that it's not going to work. That's just, there's more to it than that. I'm going to get an advice card from the Spirit Animal Oracle. This bad boy. One more. Yeah. Very specifically being told to break this up into threes. Okay. It's funny, earlier I was seeing the dragonfly, but this one is, I'm sorry, I was seeing a butterfly, but this is a dragonfly. Truth transcends illusion, number 22. What you guys believe is not always the truth. There's always more. See the big picture under that. There's always more than meets the eye with these types of things. Time to heal under that, 55. Which the card that we got from a different deck on my first attempt from the Shaman's Dream Oracle was a 55 too. So I'm gonna read this to you and then we'll move on. Alright. Dragonfly Spirit is here to remind you of the wisdom and truth available at all times in the hidden realms. Just as a dragonfly catches your eye with its reflective wings and body, Dragonfly Spirit appears to tell you to pay attention to the truth beyond the illusion and recognize the insights that come seemingly out of nowhere, peeking through from behind the veil. In the realm of spirit, there is far more wisdom than you can perceive with your senses, and there's a deep knowing that you are not separate or alone. A higher power recognizes you and loves you beyond measure. Fears dissipate as you realize you are embraced by the nurturing force that is everywhere, always in communication with you. Alighting when you are preoccupied, Dragonfly Spirit offers this message. You exist in unity with all, including the protective spirits who share their wisdom, and you are being nudged along the path your soul needs to travel to have the experiences that it craves. Love exists in many forms, and sometimes we overlook it when we don't recognize a particular form. Pay attention to the signs now. They remind you that each of us have inspired dreams seamlessly sewn into the fabric of the invisible world, and there is a great consciousness that exists in the seemingly empty spaces, guiding us on our journey. Open to the truth, letting the wisdom of the hidden realms inform you, providing insights your conscious mind overlooks. Did you really think this world of the senses is all that there is? From the hidden mystical realms, signs are being sent to you, but perhaps you have perceived separation and convinced yourself that you are on your own. Have you fallen into spiritual amnesia and forgotten your connection to a living, loving, always supportive universe? If so, rub the sleep out of your eyes, for Dragonfly Spirit is here to remind you of all the love and support available to you in every moment. There's an organizing principle underlying the events you have experienced, and Dragonfly Spirit can help you see it and trust that Spirit has your back. Let go of the illusion of chaos and randomness. Love is here, so follow the signs that appear serendipitously. As you pay attention to the magic all around you, you will know that you are on the right track. My parting words are going to be that have a little faith. I think that you guys are capable of much more than you think that you are, and the world is not against you, and you are not doomed, and you're not alone, and you are still loved and appreciated and cared for, and all those wonderful things, whether you know that, whether you recognize that or not. And if you're not getting that energy within your community and in your environment and by people that claim to love you, then I highly suggest you find a community that does those things for you, because we all deserve peace and love and happiness. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching and sharing your time and your energy with me. Of course, if this resonated at all for you, please leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. Hit the like button for me. That would be chef's kiss, because I want to build this community with you guys. Speaking of community, so definitely hit the like button. Helps me get my video out there to more people like us, more people like you who need to hear these messages. And of course, subscribe, hit the bell notification for upcoming videos. Yeah, I will see you guys soon. Thanks so much. Mwah.